Okay, I tell you for more about Doctor and TV, so don't ask why. Now, and fortunately enough, you have a PM war. The Krachi is Municipal Fire Station. I some fire personnel about and commotion or more environment. A very serene. Na Bekwa Bontin so na omo niama hodo omo didi djuma beka so omo accoutrement omo didi djuma so yakwa akwa nyina na fire personnel dodo na wa han so omo ba beboa na ye ne omo peni baako betwetwe nkomo na ye bisa no eniama hodo ye betumi aye ne de aboye ho ban e de afri uja hyehye ho na ye bo nka ye se ogusu ahwe Doctor NYTV wo hwe no e wo YouTube nyina na wa subscribe na wa share so na all other social media platforms so Doctor NYTV o comment na wa like na wa share don't ask why.
Dr. NYTV, don't ask why.
Today, fortunately enough, no, the Krachi is Municipal Fire Office. Na yene omupeni baako baba twetwe nkomo se wo hwe mensabe nkum so able fire personnel, very gallant men. Me hu oba bia wa hade but emranti a omumuja ye monopa ready say ombe combat fire bia ebepie mu e wo Krachi is ene impotemu na yebeko na ye ni omupeni baako adi nkomo. Officer, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, your name and your rank, sir.
Thank you. My name is Assistant Divisional Officer, Grade 1, Victor Kojo Kuduaji.
Okay, so you welcome to Dr. NYTV.
Thank you.
Esian say ni twi no enhyeda enye papa sa nti ye beka twi no ne yapoto ne brofo no kakra. Say ye ka say fire officer. Who is a fire officer?
Yo, me da say. Fire officer any obia ya training no. Free year training school. I can fire academy and training school. Say onko important ana mia na on educate amanfo amu ho yanim say eja asem de asem bia ejinsem organa tori bia eja basa say eja shi nyoma organa yenyina yehu ni amanfo fem ma enko makola ho baby say eja basa ya hu say market for no ana market women omuso if you say omuhwi nyoma bebre enti yes service as a fire service no omama ye to me act 537 ene tayechi ene de adwuma ena ye commandate ana bota airport ntina fire service aba no ni say ye prevent fire na yenso na ye manage se ne be ya eja hihye asem no ebeba fom
enti mo prevent na mo manage eja hihye ye beba you better narrow down to Krachi East. But you share security. We talk about police, we talk about immigration, armed forces, and all the security services. Ubeka say as a fire for more dear, more relax, more human and any cry. Is it a misconception? And I say, only Omoya, you be Obeka say more human as a day.
Yo, me don't say. Once a fire human dear, and yes, sir, Ubeka station. Now I your new baby of service. Your gross department and a unit. For example, my people safety unit. Omojumani say ombe ko miamia bet me I have hotels, bet me schools, bet me second cycle schools and bet me guest houses. And omojumani say omoko say omo educate omo. They should be able to tell them the need to protect wherever they are, because there's a law, and some law, can say, you can't have a facility without protecting it. On say, a month for a hospital, a binuko school, and some environment, you know, say one protecting us, a jabba. Why? And I say,
it has to be protected against fire.
That's it.
Okay, so schools, hotels, hospitals,
and other
unity be a co na for educating people on how to prevent and manage fire.
Yes, and because a safety department, their work is to go around na omo educate amanfo.
Moye, Krachi East, fire for Moso Moye.
Yeah. Recently, we say, call all the hotels, the schools, the hospitals in the Krachi East municipality. And our message was for them to protect their facility. And as I'm talking to you, about 80% have come to the office to start the process of certification. When we go, we look for the environment, we look at it, then we do fire risk assessment. That is by looking at things that are likely to cause fire. Even if you have this basic firefighting equipment, we'll look around and see what other things do you think can cause fire. And so we look at that. That's what we call fire risk assessment. And then we also call something fire audit. That one, we look at it. Maybe you have a facility, it is not protected. We have to tell you that this should be here and this shouldn't be here. So that when you are able to put all those things in place, I think the environment for you alone will be able to you'll be able to manage your facility.
It is often said that fire is a very good master and a very bad servant. So what are some of the safety measures will be to me put in place to protect him or herself against fire? Narrow down to those of us in the Krachi East and OT region. No, and my bench, I can't bench on a bit of far, so near boy who buy a free a jam.
Yo, me da say, send a medical kind. On say, your area a farming community or farming area. And so, one thing we have been able to locate based on our research that we have been able to make is the peasant farmers. Normally, when they have their farm and there's dry season, one person will just, set matches into the listing, thereby, consuming everything that they have done over the years. And so we have carried the concept of fire volunteerism. That concept has died down for a long time.
Fire volunteerism, Pacho, I don't know yet.
Okay, for example, you're training a month for a important they will serve as the first respondent for fire service. Mami can say from here to Askoko, we say a kwam, and the answer na you be free her do Askoko one shot. Near Bessie or Hono, and ye find into say a training almost they will start solving the fire issues before we finally go there to, kill the fire. And so this concept is helping. If you go to Pelema, we have volunteers there. Go to Domabin, we have volunteers there. If you go to Paripari, we have volunteers. I know we started, but this COVID-19 has also, brought another distance on us. So we are strategizing to continue it and then finish it.
Honestly, when you look over the years, now there have been so many fire outbreaks, especially electric poles, so we light off near the idea. But there's 2 years down the line, no fire outbreaks above from. Secret bay, minim time I would abahadi, but minim secret and strategy are muyusu. And I say, I didn't run to no abahantina. Mokoko do Nujan, who say a jash. What was the strategy? Me that say, I won't say, so over Chim Nasa won't say, your offices, a binu etna, a genasi, and just say, Yenashri. They are the firefighting men, the crew. For example, say a call, Nasa education, you catch yourself, fire certificate or somebody fire certificate. You catch or say, Mama yes say, na say still a jan bar or mu and a movie a komu sajarum. As Sena Mekanum, we have people on the ground who goes around educating at places. For example, from 2019 downwards, we have been able to educate almost 85% of the schools in the municipality. Wow. Because we realize that it is the young ones at times, based on research, at times they are the very people who cause these fires. They go around, they see a very dried area and they say, oh, let me also put something in to see what will happen. And so we were able to locate that very concept and then we move down there to do education. And you can see that fire issues have gone down. I can't remember the last time. In the Krachi is... Yes, you can see. And I can't remember the last time I went for fire because the education is going down. When you go to... There is this place that we have got, this slot at some of the first stations that we do go for
general fire safety education. And because the villages are having public address systems, whenever it's time for fire education issues, they connect, the assembly members connect to their various destiny, and then thereby getting to the core of the villages.
Commander, let me ask, do you have the equipment, the machineries to put off fire? Krachi is more say be a jabi because I know say for the men you have the men. We can see say by ababa tunkrofo bebre nti say aka afidie akade no bi wo.
Need say for the men we have the men and we have the logistics too. As you can see, that is our weapon that we use to fight the fire.
At the sense machine
it's called fire tender or fire appliance. Okay. Yes, that is what we use to.
And it works.
It works. As I'm speaking to you, it's working.
Because other places over corner than a white elephant.
Okay.
But
here it's working. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Everything is in shape, and we are just strategizing towards the Harmattan season. There is this program that we have that's train the trainers. Okay. We are imparting knowledge into the young ones who will be sent to the hinterlands to train volunteers in the other aspects, other places that we have not been able to capture, so that when everything is done, we commission them, let us still graduate them, and then they become certified fire volunteers. Wow. Who can work, except that there are certain things that they cannot do.
Okay. You know, we are approaching the Harmattan season, and see what are the do's and what are the don'ts. And Emma Benson was say, said the bear or February, and che be rum no November, and che be do December now for February rum. Nema Bensana, ye knew who can say and a name and a walk and say, educator.
Me does it. The other kind of mammy started every year on say your gas cylinders. So gas in a cylinder are a share with kitchen no. Woo Zana Mecano. So one mechanic because so one manager a woo bebrel gas and the cylinder. So one manager a woo bebrel. So who got gas? Men can say oh music can made it 20 gas na emma. There should be space where the bubbles can interact.
A new concept gas and emma po.
I was here just space because the bubbles can interact. Let's send our mind to Coca-Cola. You realize that when you open the counters, there is this force that comes out. So if Coca-Cola can behave as such, then how much more gas? And so we are advising that when they go to buy it, they should make sure they check the knobs, the connecting tubes, and other things that are associated with the cylinder and then that of the burner. They should check those things, and then it should be in a vertical form. When you put it into the car, be it car or whatever, it should stand there.
Wow.
So that
when you're transporting the cylinder,
yes,
with the gas from Tina Commander Kase gas cylinder, and I was say is vertical, and was say a diagonal. And then you
and now after so say Uber Peja African mo at call fear. Making sure say one rolling no form was when you roll it, there's this likelihood that it can blast, as we see in so many cases. Recently in Accra, we saw it. One person lost his life and the other person is maimed. He's crippled and can never walk for the rest of his life. And so they should check that one. And then you should store it at a place where a safe and a dry place where there will be no introduction of air from outside. And it should be
no introduction of air
from outside. You know, at times this air that do come from outside are hot. Okay. You know, as for gas cylinder, any small mistake, you are off. And so it should be kept at a place where there's ventilation though, okay, but to protect the hot air that comes from outside into the kitchens. And then okay. Yeah, and say, and I say, and yes, say, Yama inframa, I hot every abontino, era a hot, because a bet me, yeah, and ye socket ɛwɔ ye fie mu mpacho ye seremora se mu ba free fie amudum no se wo sofa no anopa wo ba free fie ekoduma no mpacho adu fam no du TV no dum bibia na yi bibia free socket ni se ne be ya se electricity for po edum ejana se edum kania na se omusan sokora affected because about times we refer be sparks nyoma bia yetan hu say in the form of light basa won say etimi edi eja eba wo ba say udan wo but na eja no start kakakara free ho enti na afe no so no ye chako benes
ye
bidie no mpacho ye hwe ne this time no wo say weather no ayeshi enti nyoma kakra mistake kakra bia obeye ebia wako harvest na say chako no wako tu ensana ka no enti say particles no and say pieces no to baby na say wan hwe ni na say wa fa nsuo kakra bi edi dum sa so particles no ebetimi di eja aba ebe shock you say sa ja no start ebe shi wakasa wa fom first and sana ebe kwa koshi obidie enti yesromora no mu ehwema yes no ye farmers ana ye akuafo no pacho say ye ko ye farm na say ye be free wa eja ye eja ye di nua aduane ye di ye wi nsuo kakra ye wo no ye mfa dum no enye sa wo ba say wo ba free 5 minutes and I say 10 minutes time no na wa fo no
wo hwe ye communities ni bia sene ye omosisi adan no enye scattered na mo mabubom enti se ye bi eja ebi to ba bia mo ye den ma mo ka ebetimi ewra ho
mi da say sa asem no eye asem bia ye problem especially wo Krachi East ha woko ba bi ti say teflekoje wakasa mo say ekwan bia ne ho a obeko last year no ejabi to ho nanso take the expertise of personnel to be able to bring that fire down wa ntwekona petrol drum mienu na si efie bi nti wakasa about me hu senia Jan but we are able to put the fire under control and we per se yensre assembly na town and country planning for no omubie kwan they should get the roads open senebia say ejato baby ye betumi akọ na yakodum saja no na ya ansu ya wo community my friend say obi de ewura kakra bi etu baby na odi ejatum na wakọ nti hisa kakra say inframa duma won say ebefa eja no ye fra bi fa embers ebefa bi nti wan hwa na satan na obi ebie ni window na sa weni akoto ni dem na edi ejabeba enye obia na yesa sa carelessness why e baby no ene di sa problem ba nti ye pese yenstrom na omunhwe na ye wo afom again was say this time no ye creative fire belt sa fire belt no space bia ye creating between ye farm any bush no se na be ye creative wia na say ye di bibia e bia ye reki na say ye plow ho wia na ya di matches editor the account send be ebe shi akọ nti say ejabi free baby e ba kora won say edu baby a wo start wo def na edum
mama Mr. when was the last time mo kodumoja
be 2 months ni
ewo side be
ewo krom and sa jakra na electricity for en edum light.
Yeah. I think Old Town Junction.
Yes. Okay. And as a result, no, and a pool no started she. Until was say, you continue last time, you share ECG4, and ye two or more say this time round, your maternity is coming. Nyoma I'm ye post no she no. Omushena this time. Omu invite fire service, and by ye expertise, beba. Na ya share, you better use your 5 volunteers in the so. Now a clear around post no na omudin eja editum send be ya the post by this time will be protected until when there is a wildfire from elsewhere, maybe a neighboring country or a neighboring village or community, the post will be protected.
Is there a number that those of us watching us can call whenever there is a fire outbreak somewhere? Number be home to me a friend.
Number opa
Number
020 798 4434.
4434. I think say previously number short number be an ayata, so does it still work?
Yes, worky, but on say a told me almost fresh. I was say encore Accra. Answer na Accra no so be connect ye national headquarters. Before almost be free, but that time no ye say na problem aba. Enti ye two almost say a Jan bar almost free ye number direct. Send be ye beba na do a jano am.
Commander, better was say what to me a church near my who do a bit to me a fasona ya boy who buying a fridge as a show. Ebia now or final words be our person or catch Krachi East, Uchi region, and Ghanaians as a whole and so Brennan.
Yo, me that say, me person me catch say fire service ye or ho, hemamo. Ye Jumanu say, make sure say a jar as no abra form. Now a jabba, I'm confrere Nadmu and I say police for. Police, then a two now they call Doom Jana say day. Not more for duty ni say supply relief items. And the fire service is solely responsible for fire and then accident. Say accident bar. Fire service is the first point of call.
Oh, okay, so Loria Quenchia bar. Fire service for what's your frame?
Some say another department of fire service. Your friend RTC, that road traffic coalition. Service, they deal with accident and other things. Where there's an accident, recently there was an accident at Skoko, and our men were there throughout the night. They came back the next morning, and then you realize that they have done very well.
And you have all those departments at the municipal office?
Yes, we have the equipment in the tender that we use. When there's accident, we move in and then we solve the issue.
Ebia will be penso when if you sit down so and so supplying so.
Oh, yeah, in supplying you. Also, we have a lot of functions we carry. Another functions is that when we educate on extinguishers, we educate on structural layout as to how the city should look like. When we educate or train volunteers, we should also undertake a commercial activity or any other activity that is incidental to the vision of the service. For example, when there is this match, you realize that the fire service moves in to water the field before. It is part of the service that is incidental to our vision and mission. For example, when there is a crisis in a school, when fire service is called, it is part of our duty to make sure that that school gets water for academic work to continue. When there's a shortage of water in a church, it is because people go there, and the people who go there are people who are paying tax, whose taxes are being used to pay offices. And so when there's crisis, we go there to, give them water for activities or whatever they do to continue. At times, when there is funeral, times the opinion leaders, the chiefs, do sought for our help. You know, we are living on their land. And so when your father called you, that come and do this for me, you can never refuse, knowing very well that it is part of our function.
So where do you get the water from? Because foreign movies near there, baby, near omo de ensu omo twin so few advantage points, but as a ye mpotem ha ebi ni ho sa this ebia eja bi to ba bi se kwarkware na mo kona montumi anum no ahefa na makokubu nsu no
me da say another challenger ye battling with in Krachi East. Ideally there's supposed to be hydrant at vantage point where we can easily access water and then move back to solve the problem, if not completely solved. But say now that the region has started, ebia going forward in the near future, you bet me anya hydrant and other things in place. But for now, the lake is the only source of replenishing. And so we are appealing to the assembly and that's non-governmental agencies to come and then look at a few challenges that we are putting in place for the betterment of the municipality.
Wow, and Yababi PMO Krachi is Municipal Fire Office. And you mumpini for about between Komama Mache and Kwan who do be between Faso. Na Yaboy Hubai. I think it's been very, very educative, and we would like to thank the commander and his officers for this opportunity given us. Say any more about between Komo. But finally, Kra answer ni be free shukra kono. Yabeko commander hona ordinary di semwa you try to okra ede atu janafe yasoro. Commander, your final comments.
Thank you. Mpacho mi pesemenda timufuase yede ye hu se education na ye ma omo no ekoye omutie ye futu na omutu anamo enti ye pesenda omuase na ye sheja. We intentionally put fire into the bush or elsewhere just to cause alarm. Ye pese ye sounding a word of caution to them. This time round, we are trying to make sure that fire doesn't come at all. And the Hamatan season stroke, the Christmas Yuletide that is coming, we are trying to make sure that there is no fire so that those who go around their normal businesses can do that devoid of fear or tension. And also, bushfire law, LI 229 of 1990. Salono to be enforced, but ye per opinion leaders, chiefs, any other stakeholders, so inactive bylaws that will be able to take care of the recalcitrants who do commit these problems, who put fear, who intentionally want to, just cause chaos in the system. Senebeya eja shisha asem no ebeti amba form na mamemfa akonya wesu na minda me officers ase se na ho mu no mu nyina bia odwuma omuye se na me kan no enye spa na se ludu ene adwuma just say all work and no play make Jack a dull boy.
What to say ese mo ludu ene spa nko
a normal thing. Who says omukodum jana se omubasa they have to release tension. At times you go to solve problem and what you have seen there alone is a problem to the problem solver. And so these things at times do release tension out of them. So they are the last point of call when there's fire. After everything is done and still there's fire, they are the last point of call and they move in to solve this. I also want to appeal to facilities within the municipality who are not having certificate to come to the station, the Fire Station, and then get through the processes in order that they will be able to get the certificate. And those of them that are not having basic firefighting equipment like extinguishers, we want to make sure that by the end of 2022, every household is having an extinguisher. Senebea, when there is fire, you can locate the source of the fire and can, move in to solve it. As for filling stations and other places, we have gone there, we've trained them as to how to use those things. So they are okay with the usage of the extinguishers and other things. So we are just trying to make sure that Krachi East is safe for all of us to live in. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Commander. Personally, I would like to commend you and your guys, your officers, for the good job done. Say, mudi ejuma because ye important as see jashe akofom. Enti ye besre nyankopon ahoden dia mamo say monko so ani modwuma pa mo ye ne se mo beko so ana ejashe no ebeba form ede amayen. Na wa wo hwe yen na ha Dr. NYTV don't ask why. We subscribe wo YouTube na adoma ebi wo na do nsa apem adoma no so your video be the first to watch. All other social media platforms so Dr. NYTV. Meda crew no nyina say wo hwe Dr. NYTV. Don't ask why.